Hi, I'm Allie Palacios, broker-owner of Happy Clients Realty Group. I'm going to record a series of videos discussing the purchase of a home, the steps you need to follow to purchase a home. This is the first one, and I'm just kind of going to I'm going to give you an overview of all 12 steps, and then you'll have further videos below that will describe each step in detail and give you a little bit further information. Okay, so let's get started. The first step to buying a home is getting pre-approved. The truth is that there's no point of actually going to go look at properties unless you know how much you can actually afford and what you feel comfortable paying for. So you're going to want to speak to a lender. Most agents in our area can refer you to a list of lenders. I have a list. Just give me a call and I'll be happy to provide it. The lender will actually review all your finances, and they will tell you exactly how much they'll pre-approve you for. They'll tell you what kind of down payment you're looking at, what kind of closing costs, what your monthly payment will be, what kind of interest payment you'll actually be looking at, all those things. The truth is, you don't want any surprises. Before we start looking for houses, you might as well know exactly what you're kind of getting into. All right, the second step is actually finding an agent that you would like to work with. Interview an agent, ask questions, look at their education. I actually have another video in my series that discusses that topic in itself. So please feel free to click on it below. The next step is to make a list of your needs and wants. You're going to want to actually look to see what is most important to you. In Houston here, unfortunately, our traffic is so incredibly horrendous that most of the time, the most important thing is to be as close to work as possible. But that might not necessarily be the case for everyone. So work on a list of needs and a list of wants. The next step would be to actually go look at the homes. This is the fun part. We'll get to take a look at the properties, see which one meets your needs. Not all of them are going to meet your needs 100%. In fact, it's very rare to find a property that meets every single one of your needs. But if you can find one that has, a good 80% of your needs, then you're in good shape. The next step would be to make an offer on the property. We'll work together to kind of read through the sales in the area, see what properties are actually selling for, and compose an offer that makes sense for you. And then we'll go ahead and submit it. Once your offer is actually submitted, the next step is going to be to start working on your financing with your lender and also getting your home inspected. You're going to want to do just a general inspection at the very least, just to make sure the home is in good condition. Usually after the inspection, we'll go ahead and renegotiate terms to accommodate for any, issues that we may find with the property itself. Once we're past the home inspection, you're going to still continue working with the lender to get all the documents they need and clarification that they may need. And you'll go ahead and order the appraisal. The appraisal is done by an independent appraiser. So the appraiser is going to come out, take a look at the property, and decide what the value of the property is. Basically, the bank is not going to want to lend more money than what the home is actually worth. So that is a very important step. Normally, we'll go into this a little bit later in detail, but hopefully we won't encounter any problems here because we've already discussed pricing. So then after the appraisal, you're going to want to also work on getting property insurance. We can also provide you with a list of insurance companies, and there are many ways to actually try to save money on the policy, and maybe even car insurance included. So, we'll talk about that actually later. And then what the next step is going to be finding to receive closing documents. Probably about 3 days prior to your closing, at least 3 days, I should say, prior to your closing. And these closing disclosures will have everything written out, and the sales price, any credits we negotiated, any home warranties that you selected, everything basically that's part of the contract itself. So we're going to want to look at that in detail and make sure that nothing has been overlooked. If everything is great, then we basically just count down to closing date, which is 3 days away. If not, then we can go back and forth until everything has been settled. The last step would be, or the last two steps, I should say, are going to be doing a final walkthrough on the house. This is really important because the truth is that the home could have been vacant, or even if it's occupied, the owner would have moved out of the house, and you want to make sure that the home is in good condition. You don't want anything to have popped up after you actually saw the property. So you're going to want to do a walkthrough as close to the closing time as possible. So that means the morning of, or maybe even the night before, you'll want to just do a walkthrough, make sure everything's okay. If everything's okay, then we'll go to a closing as scheduled. We will have already made an appointment with the title company to actually sign all your documents. That day, you just show up with your ID in your hand ready to sign, and you just go through the lending documents and sign each one. Now, once the buyer and the seller has actually signed and the bank has funded the loan, then the home is officially yours. So that's when we would exchange keys and you would start the moving process. The fun part. Thank you.